Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we got oh, hello mouse. There we go. Now we're working. We got this section fixed down here. Not really fixed, but actually put on. So this was the, so far, only American contribution to the ISS. That will change, of course. And right now we've got the Zarya module here. Our next module is the Zvezda module, and we also need to bring up a repair kit to repair this photovoltaic panel that we accidentally broke. We'll have to do that, no doubt about that, and for now I do want to rename this vessel. This is going to be a station, and we're going to rename this the International Space, not Spacer Station, just Space Station. Fantastic. So that'll do. Wonderful. So this vessel is now renamed. It's no longer the Unity module, and we're going to head on back to the Space Center because we need to get the Zvezda module up here. Now, the Zvezda module goes directly into the open port on the Zarya module, so we don't need to move anything around. It's very convenient. So that'll all be good. And while that's loading up, I just want to pull up this bad boy here, and we can take a quick look at what the Zvezda module looks like. Now, this here is not part of the Zvezda module, nor is this. So it goes from like this line here, this is like the docking port here, and then it goes down to this object here. From down here, we've got, I think that's a Progress vehicle attached to it. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's a Progress uncrewed vehicle. Regardless, we're not going for that for now. We're just going for this guy. So that'll be absolutely fine. It's inline solar panels as well. If we go to the configuration layout here, we can see this is a Zarya module that we've already got here. This is a PMA1 that is already in here. And then that attaches in like over here to the... What is this here? This is the Unity Node 1. Yeah. So that's all going to get moved eventually. But right now we're focused on the Zvezda module, the Zvezda service module, which is going to get docked right in there. So that's absolutely fine. Let's get to work on that. So we're going to hop into the VAB. This is delivered via Proton rocket. So we are, of course, going to be getting that set up here. So let's open this. And we're going to be bringing a lot of extra fuel to the station, which is... good. We know we're going to be needing that. So that's fine for now. We're going to load up the Proton rocket. And for now, I'm just going to delete this fairing. We do not need it. And I'm going to save this as the Zvezda. Okay. So we're going to save that. And now we can begin construction on this. Now, this is a docking port, a standard docking port. So we're just going to turn that guy on around. And this is going to be the end that does not get attached. And then we're going to have the end that does get attached here. So we need, like, this is like service modules, right? So that's going to be very, very interesting. Let's actually take a quick look here at the design of the Zvezda module. So this image is not very large at all. Commander's quarters, crew quarter windows. Okay, so this is a lot of, like, crew quarter stuff. And then this is, like, attitude control up over here. Batteries, power system, exercise areas. So this is like very much crew themed, right? This is a docking target up here. I don't know if these have docking ports on them. That is something that we should definitely figure out. What do we got here? So docking ports. I'm not sure if it does or not. Well, actually we can check here. We can see that the Zvezda module does actually have docking ports here and here. It has to, because how else do they attach the Nauka module and the Poisk module? Has to. Okay, so with that in mind, we now know basically what we're going for here. So we're going to get some crew quarters down here. So that's going to be, I think we're just going to do like a hitchhiker storage container for right now. Then we have a section up here that's attitude control. So let's do an adapter. And is this going to be a fuel adapter? If we have a short one that's of a decent size. I'm not sure that we do. It will need to be like the Rockamax brand adapter. No, even that's a little big. I want to go from Rockamax to the, yeah, to this size. That's a pretty tall adapter. I don't want it to be that big on the adapter. So we're going to go like this. No fuel there. That's fine. So this is going to be like attitude control, right? So I do want to have some RCS on here. So we would go for this size of an RCS tank. That'll be fine. Let's put some attitude control thrusters on here. something along the lines of, I want these to be snapping on. Something along the lines of that will do. Okay. And then beyond this, I think a little bit more attitude control here. A fuel tank would be an interesting thing to put here. It would need to be like this size. Yeah, but I think a little wider than that, or rather a little longer than that. Something along the lines of this would probably do reasonably well. I'm just looking at the proportions of this thing. Yeah, that's probably reasonably fine. So from there, then, arguably, you could definitely make the argument that we should be going for like one of these KV pods, but none of them are the right size. We could adapt down to them, and we are going to adapt down. So that would be something like that. But we know that we're going to need a modular girder of some type here, right? And this is essentially going to end up being a modular girder hub. So we know that we need solar panels on one side here. That is going to end up being these 1x5s. And we're going to be bringing 2 of them, like so. Now, we need docking ports on the sides that are not on the solar panel side, and one on the top, so that we can actually dock into this thing. That would be a good thing. So we're going to do that. We're going to rotate this and place it here. And then we're going to do the same thing here. I didn't actually duplicate this one? Okay. So we'll just do something like that for our docking. So that is our Zvezda module here. It's pretty compact. There's not a huge amount to it. Nothing too fancy at this point. And I mean, that's kind of the ISS in a nutshell, right? There's a lot of little bits. If we look at the configuration map here again, yeah, there's a lot of little bits. And that's absolutely fine. We'll definitely get that all put together eventually, but it's going to take quite a number of launches. For now, I think all we need to do, well, we do definitely want to put, and I'm going to do that as part of this section here. This is an attitude control section. So I'm going to put in a reaction wheel here. I'm pretty sure the Russian modules don't actually use reaction wheels, but we'll go for it. It'll be fine. A medium? Yeah, medium reaction wheel there. That'll be fine. And then I do want to put in a remote piloting module. We're not actually going to be... I was going to say we're not actually going to be sending this up empty. That might be a lie. We can definitely send up some repair kits here. And we should probably have a lot of them, in all honesty. So we can just fill this up with repair kits. I wish we could duplicate all 4 of these. Unfortunately, we can't, and so this gets kind of tedious. But I do think we should probably bring a good number of repair kits just in case of mishap. That would probably be smart. So if we do this, we shouldn't need to bring any additional repair kits. The Zvezda service module should have all the repair kits that we need if we just max this out. I really wish that we could duplicate the stacks. Unfortunately, we can't. As far as I know, anyway. There might be some way to do it. But as far as I know, this is the only way possible. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's not grabbing this. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking. Fantastic. We're half done. Well, this is going to take potentially a little bit here. I'm thinking about doing the rest of this off camera, and I think that's probably for the best. I will see you guys in just a little bit here. Okay, so I've got these all put in now. We've got them all good to go. We can reattach the modular girder hub here, just checking to make sure that we're not really missing anything. I don't think that we are. Reaction control is definitely a thing, and that's a large component of this, of course. Yeah, I think this is pretty much good to go. So all we need now is our fairing here, so I'm going to build that up about here or so. Cool. And then we'll launch our Zvezda module, although I do want to get some struts in down here, just to make sure that we're solidifying this joint a little bit. That would probably be for the best. Hopefully we don't have too much bending in this rocket. That would be mildly awkward if we did have a lot of bending, but fingers crossed on that one. I don't think it should be too bad. We've got this medium reaction wheel up here, but it's strutted in. it might create some issues down here. In all actuality, we may want to turn off this reaction wheel until we get into space. That's probably for the best, now that I think about it. So let's do that for now. That seems absolutely okay. Let's save this, and we're going to put this out on the Woomerang launch site. It has no remote controlled or manned command modules. I thought that we put in... We did not, though. Okay. I was intending to put in an Octo 2. And that apparently didn't end up actually happening. So we'll just get that put in. I guess that gives us a little bit of spacing for these docking ports. That's not a bad thing either. So we're going to save that. We may want to strut this together, but I think it's fine. If we need more struts, I mean, we're going to bring up more modules that are like this one with a bunch of storage space. And we can always load that up with struts and get everything anchored in with some spacewalks, which is absolutely something that happens in reality. So we'll see what happens with that. We're already on the Woomerang launch site, right? Yes, we are. So let's put this on out there. Do we have anyone in here? I didn't check that. How much you want to bet we've got somebody in here? Well, I'm going to cut out the loading, and I'm going to cut out the second loading if we've got somebody in there. See you guys in just a moment. Surprisingly, we did not have anyone in here, so I didn't have to load it a second time. However, we're probably in a really bad spot for launching. Yes, we are. This is a terrible location to launch. Okay, so we're just going to set this as our target. There we go. And we're just going to warp forward a little bit here. We absolutely are going to need to wait a bit here. So let's get lined up a little bit better with our orbit. Sometime around a little later than this, I feel like. Yeah, we're not going to launch directly into a rendezvous, but I want to launch a bit more like now-ish. Okay, so let's get this thing on out of here. Double checking staging, which is something I did not do, but it shouldn't be broken down here. We shouldn't have any problems here, so we're going to go to surface up, throttle up. No probe control. Oh, right. No electric charge from the time warp. Again, well, actually, I'm going to revert this back, and we're going to add batteries to this, because this definitely does actually have some batteries here. So we're going to revert this back, and I'll bring this back once we've got those batteries added. Sometime around, well, we can add the batteries right now, and I'll cut out the loading. So that'll be fine. I'm just going to add in a battery here, and this is going to be a 1K. Nope, a 2.5K. Yep, 2.5K. There we go. So we'll do something along the lines of that. Out on the Woomerang launch site, absolutely. Double checking no Kerbal in here. No Kerbal. Save and launch. See you guys in just a moment again. Okay, so here we are loaded up, and let's actually go here this time, although we're going to need to warp again. That is fine. We're absolutely fine with that. I was actually intending to do this before I resumed, but here we are. We're going to set the ISS as our target, and we're just going to continue to warp on forward here. One more orbit. Okay. Not quite yet. About now is when we're targeting. Okay, so we're going to go to up. We're going to throttle up now that we have batteries for it. And off we go. Phenomenal. So we're going to need to rotate over towards that 67-ish degree inclination. We're probably going to have to change our inclination a little bit, and we're not going to be launching into an intercept with the ISS, I'm pretty sure. But that's fine for right now. So off we go. And let's just get ourselves some altitude for right now. We can adjust our heading as we go up. As we can see right now, our descending node is about 30 degrees off. That is unsurprising. We're going to be tweaking that as we get some additional altitude. I would like to head very slightly out over this direction. We're just going to hold about here. And it's bringing us back to up. Right, I want to be on kill rock. So we're just going to bring this out to about here. I'm definitely noting some wiggling here, so we're not going to try to do too much here. I just want to keep an eye on our descending node here. Yeah, that looks decent. Cool. So that's definitely improving. We have a 20-kilometer apoapsis at this point, so I'm just going to make our way over towards-ish the horizon. We can see this is the direction to the station. We're not necessarily trying to go to the station here, though. So for now, we're just looking to get ourselves some horizontal speed. This is all the further we can angle at this juncture. But honestly, I just want horizontal velocity up right now. So we're going to head on over towards that as best we can. And we'll keep an eye on our descending node here. Minus about 11 degrees. That's not too bad, all things considered. Okay, we probably do actually want to be down to... Whoa, okay, that moved a lot. Ah, that's because these are falling off. Gotcha. Let's get rid of those. Okay, that was potentially dangerous, but luckily it didn't end up actually being dangerous. Okay, we're a little bit wiggly right now, but it's fine-ish. It's fine-ish. So we can see we're about 8 degrees off right now. Ooh, we're definitely picking up quite a swivel here. We need to turn down this gimbal limit to like 10%. There we go. That'll be a little better. I'm actually just going to burn towards target right now. And we'll see what that ends up looking like as far as our ascending node. We have a bit of a spin. Let's see about getting that a bit under control. Okay, we can get our fairing off of here, and at this moment, I'm going to turn our reaction wheel back on. That will help with this attitude. There we go. Looks phenomenal for the moment. Now, the question is one of inclination, right? So we're currently burning towards the ISS. I don't expect that we're actually going to get an intercept out of this. Oh, we burned out that stage. Okay. We're going to continue getting ourselves horizontal speed right now. Our horizontal speed is technically high enough to achieve orbit, but I'm interested right now in continuing to drop this ascending node down. So this is looking reasonably good for the moment. And we're going to push our apoapsis height up a ways. I don't know exactly how far. Our ascending-descending node is eventually going to, because we're past the descending node right now, we're going to be losing efficiency on this, and we'll keep an eye on that. For now, I'm mostly interested in just increasing our apoapsis on out. But getting that inclination a little bit closer is not bad. We could definitely head in this direction. So let me fix our roll a bit here. Okay. And we could definitely head out here if we wanted to get more ascending node fix, right? Which I am interested in doing right now. But this is only going to get so far. We're not near the descending node. So this is only going to get us so much distance here at this point, which is fine. We'll see how far we can get, probably within about a degree or so, but that's probably close enough, to be honest. So 3.1 degrees, 3 degrees, 2.9. Yeah, we're getting decent speed here, actually. We're currently in orbital mode, so that's good. I'm just going to head over directly to here, and then we're going to go to horizontal velocity up. Once this is about as good as it's going to get, to be honest. 2 degrees, 1.9. We're going to see that ascending node shifting on us, though, and that's going to... it's going to start going the other way. We're going to overshoot it. I don't think it's possible for us right now to get to where we want to go. So 150 is fine. We're going to add a maneuver here and just circularize that on up. And then we'll fix the rest of our inclination. There's very little to fix there, but that'll be fine. We'll align to this node, and we should probably extend our solar panels. That would help. There we go. So let's get aligned to the node. We've got lots of delta V here, of course. No shortage on delta V. This rocket is hilariously overpowered. And we're also launching this full, and that was deliberate. I did not intend to launch this empty. This was exactly what I wanted to do, because I want to bring as much fuel as possible to this thing. So we are refueling the station at the same time with this particular flight, so we're not going to be ditching any of this fuel for now. We will eventually need the docking port that it's attached to, but for now, we're going to be keeping it there. So 50 seconds, 40, 30, 20, 10, and 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. So we're just getting our circularization done here. Nice and easy. In fact, we can physics warp this. It's a bit of a slow burn. And coming out at the other side. This is good enough. And at this point, we're going to get our inclination change. The next opportunity for that will be the descending node out over here. So 1.9 degrees. So something along the lines of that would do. Not bad as far as this launch goes. We'll see what our intersect timing is, but it shouldn't be too bad either. We're basically right beneath the ISS right now, which is awkward, but that'll change. We're in a significantly different orbit, right? So no worries on that one. Cool. It'd be very weird if we weren't in different orbits at this moment. That would be truly bizarre. So 50 seconds, 40, 30, 20, 10, and 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. Wonderful. So we're going to get this inclination changed here. Matching planes with the ISS. We were very close with our launch, only 2 degrees off, actually 1.9 degrees off to be technical. So 1 meter per second, and there we go. Beautiful. That should be good enough. Absolutely, this is good enough for an intercept. So let's see what this would look like if we were to do an intercept around here. That is not great timing. We're definitely going to have to wait in orbit, at least. Probably like 2. Okay, that's a pretty significant change. About 1/3 of an orbit. Noted. So what that means is we wait in orbit, but we burn it sometime up here, right? Yes, but we're in an awkward spot for it. Okay, I'm going to warp forward a little bit in our orbit just so that we don't have that awkward spot there, because we were basically where we want to do our burn, but in a couple of orbits. So that's 12.9 kilometers out. That's not bad. Let's get a line to that node. Wonderful. And this is going to be a very easy intercept. No problem whatsoever here. That burn will be in about an hour, 155 meters per second. What is our relative speed going to be? 143.2? Yeah, that's workable. Cool. So let's head on over. I want to be in target mode, of course. So we'll swap over to target mode here. And we've got about 50 seconds until this burn. 40, 30, 20, 10, and really right now, I think, ever so slightly late on that one, but it really doesn't matter. This is going to be close enough. We've got lots of delta V. We can do any corrective steering we need. I am deeply unconcerned about this. We're also not deploying this from the space shuttle, which needs work. More specifically, I need to get better at it. I have a decent idea on how we're going to end up handling that, but for now, this is fine. So we're going to bring this on up. We've got about 20 meters per second to go in this burn, 10 meters per second, 5, and getting this last little bit done. Cool. That'll do for now. And at this point, 13 kilometers apart, yeah, we're going to warp on up over here. And the ISS is basically above us right now. I don't know exactly where, but it's out there somewhere. Cool. So we're going to need to head on over to relative velocity minus here. It should be visible. There it is. About 30 kilometers out. Sounds good. So we're going to need to, of course, do a little bit of corrective steering here, which was also, conveniently enough, going to be a... Oh, we're in physics warp. Okay, that's why that felt weird. Which is, conveniently enough, also a brake for us. So we're going to be braking here, while also doing a little bit of corrective burn. Cool. I want to be up over about here. There we go. Engine shut down, and that puts us 8.7 kilometers away, so we'll have to do another corrective burn to get a little closer. But that's absolutely fine. That's interesting. So we're not all that far off over here. That's apparently 9 kilometers away. I don't know about that. I think that this might be incorrect here. I think that, okay, 0.0 kilometers. It's this intersect that we care about. Cool. So that basically means we're on a collision course right now. So we need to head to relative velocity minus. We're on a collision course moving it at 100 meters per second. We probably don't want to collide with the ISS. Technically, I think we'll probably miss it, but it's really, really close. It's going to be within 100 meters. So, yeah, we're going to want to bring this on in, and we're going to want to start a braking burn fairly soon here. We're about a minute away from quote-unquote impact. I'm going to start our braking burn once we're within about... What is our thrust to weight? 0.49. Once we're within about 2 kilometers. So we're going to warp in a little bit closer here. Okay, 3 kilometers and... burning. So we're just braking here. We'll have to do a little bit of corrective burn, of course, but that's to be expected. I just want to bring this down. 40 meters per second. 30. 20. And 10 meters per second. Okay. Much better. That's about 90% of our thrust there. I'm going to go to kill rot, and we're going to do a little bit of adjustment here with RCS. We're going to need to burn this down a little bit more. Our speed is too high for that. Okay, let's bring this down to about 5 meters per second, although I wouldn't mind doing a bit of correction here. There we go. That's looking a lot better. I believe this is our docking port down over here, so that'll be great. And let's just bring this right on in. So we're moving at about 5.4 meters per second relative right now. Looks good. We're going to be controlling from here, which is exactly the same as our current control point, but that's absolutely fine for now. Just bring this down to just under 5 meters per second. And let's warp in a little bit closer here. So we can see that our current velocity is going to be bringing us like up past here. That's reasonably fine. I just want to get this in a little bit closer here. Okay. So going into kill rot, and we're going to slow ourselves down a bit. Actually, I just want to be on relative velocity minus right now. Let's just kill our relative speed, and then we'll get into position for this docking maneuver. We're definitely coming in a not really super awkward angle, but not exactly the angle we want to be at. So we're going to bring this down. Our turn speed is a little low because we're carrying a lot of weight here. And for now, that's reasonably fine. We just have to get into position for this turn. Okay, 0.0. So I'm going to take us to kill rot. And now we're going to turn. We need to go this direction a little bit if we don't want to actually turn the station, right? So we need to bring this guy all the way around and be heading down this direction a bit. I would prefer not to turn the station. Of course, we easily could turn the station, but we're going to be setting this as our target. Okay, I'm going to freeze our rotation here, and I want to go this direction a bit. Cool. So about here. Now I want to go this direction a wee bit. So about here. I'm going to rotate so that we don't accidentally clip our solar panel. And then we're going to move up at around 0.5 meter per second. And then flip to relative velocity minus and hope that we don't actually hit this on the way over. That would be mildly awkward if we did. What do we think? We gonna make it? I'm gonna put us on kill rot for right now. I think at this point, we're gonna make it. But if I hadn't have put us on kill rot, I think that could have been potentially awkward. So we're bringing this on around. And we're going to have to kill this relative speed, right? But we need to get into position to do that. We also want to align our solar panels in line with each other as we're coming in for this docking procedure. But we'll just get around to this side over here. And once we are in position, then we can bring this on in, no problem. So let's just get around to relative velocity minus. I don't want to be using RCS at this juncture because I don't want to change our actual velocity as we are turning. So that'll be fine for now. I want to kill our velocity basically now. 2, 1-ish. 1-ish. Okay. Now we're going to align to target. Not minus target. Target. Cool. We're going to align our solar panels. Like so. Now, our angling is not perfect, but this is close enough. I'm going to control from here. I'm going to set this guy as our target. This is a docking port, a regular docking port, right? Not a docking port junior. Correct. Okay, we're going to angle for that. Just a very, very slight angling there. Just want to check our solar panel alignment. It's reasonable. We're going to go in at around 0.5 meters per second for now. RCS is on. And we'll make any adjustments that we need to on the way in here. We do have a couple of adjustments that are needed. Cool. I'm going to brake us ever so slightly as we get in here. So 0.3, and we can see our velocity is drifting off as we do the braking, which is expected. We can correct that. And there we go. We are docked. We're going to be leaving all of this fuel here for now. That was absolutely expected. We're going to pull out of this tank, and I want to pin open for sure this tank and this tank. These are liquid fuel only. This is a structural fuselage here. So it's really only these two tanks. But we're going to pull this fuel on out of here and fill up these tanks. I don't think, yeah, that's not going to grab all of this fuel. But that's fine for now. And that is, of course, the Zvezda module ready to go. Now, it's not perfectly aligned in the solar panel front, but it's good enough. That'll definitely do for now. We can always redock it if we feel like we really, really need to. But for now, I'm happy with this. We don't need to retire these bits just yet. We will get there eventually. As I realize there's no actual way to control this, we'll have to do something about that. But for now, this'll do. We do need to get our payment for this, and it is also time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and... Yes. You can close. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to be sad about the alignment of this. That's almost certainly going to need a fix, and we can do that. We'll just see how we want to do it. But we can definitely do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.